All right, welcome everybody. I'm excited for what we're going to be doing tonight. Let me just switch it to so you can see me for just a second. My name is Julie Brown. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. And for those of you that don't know me, I've been doing this for almost exactly 5 years. I just got my 5-year pin in the mail today, as a matter of fact, from Stampin' Up! Congratulating me. But I am so glad that you guys are all here with me tonight. And so just a little housekeeping, just if you guys have any questions or any comments, just make sure you type those in so that I see them. I do try to keep up with them, but sometimes because my head is down, because I am actually, let me get that out of the way, because I am actually working on the cards, I don't always see them right away. So, but don't hesitate to put some questions in. Let me just give you my information really quick. So for anybody that's wanting to place an order this month, and it is going to be under $150, or you're part of my monthly group, that's the hostess code. You can order through me by typing in juliebrown.stampinup.net. And then if you need to contact me, you can contact me at juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. And then don't forget to check out my Pinterest and blog. The Pinterest has the same name as my email, Julie's Creative Stampin', and then my blog is stampinjuliebrown.blogspot.com. So that's out of the way. So let's talk about what we are going to be looking at tonight. So I have picked the Hippo Happiness Bundle, and it is on page 49. So let me bring up the catalog. Whoops, so you can see it. So here's the catalog page, and this is such a cute bundle. But I have to admit, I wasn't sure I was that excited about it until I started using it. What I was the most excited about with this bundle is this amazing die set. So if you look at this die set, and here's the stamp set, and this is a 2-step stamping, so we're going to show you how to do some of that tonight. But it cuts out the hippo, it cuts out the, you can either make it a horse, which I did tonight, or it has a little horn that you can make it a unicorn. It cuts out the little lamb, and it cuts out the balloons, and it cuts out the butterflies and the flowers. So almost everything on here gets cut out. Plus, look at all the label dies in this set. This is an amazing label set. And then if I have time, I'll show you what these two things are for. Basically, it cuts holes. So like if I were to cut out this die, I could cut out these 2 holes, and it allows you to run ribbon through these holes. And then this right here is to cut out like the string for the balloon. So fun, right? So much fun. All right, well, let's get started. And like I've promised you guys, my first card every single night is going to be simple stamping. So let me bring in a paper here so that I can give you measurements for what we're going to be doing. And let me pull that in. So we are going to be starting with the simple stamping. And I'm using Gorgeous Grape, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then for this one, you just need 2 Whisper White pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4. So pretty simple as far as what you need to do this one. Sorry, I'm trying to see if it's actually running. There we go. I like to have it up running so I can see if I pause or anything. All right, so let's get started with this. So we're going to bring in our stamp set, and I'm going to start with the little hippo. And what I have learned with this set is it's 2-step stamping. And what that means is that you basically build the animals in 2 steps. So I don't know if you can see this very well, but we have a more detailed stamp, which is this one, and then we have the solid stamp, which is this one. So what I have found in this is that it's easier to stamp because the detailed is usually the darker color, when you're stamping. And so I have found that if you stamp that first, then it's a lot easier to do the two-step stamping later. So I'm using Pacific Point and Balmy Blue. So Pacific Point is my darker color. And so what I'm talking about is I'm going to take the little detailed guy, which is this one. Oh gosh, I'm there, that one. And I'm going to do him first. I've just found it easier for me to do it this way. Some people prefer to stamp the light color first, but I always seem to run into issues with being able to see, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Okay, so we're gonna stamp that. Hey, Susie. And that's what that looks like. So the two-step process is now I'm gonna come in with the lighter color and the solid stamp, or the solid outline, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna lay this directly over this and get it lined up perfectly. That's why I like doing the lighter color last. And excuse my head if I get my head in here, but I definitely need to kind of be over this. So what you do, you know what, let me get this. Sorry, I gotta move a light. I wanna get that so that it's in tight so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we've inked it up with the Balmy Blue. This is Pacific Point. And then what you do is you come in and you're gonna line this up directly with the lines on the hippo. And like I said, I hope I get this right because I'm not leaning over as much as I usually do. But if you get, it wasn't perfect, but if you get directly over it when you're doing this, you can see exactly what, and probably if I had just looked up at the camera, I could have seen that. All right, so that's how you do the two-step stamping. And like I said, I always do the dark, whichever color is gonna be my dark color is the one that I do first. Let me clean these stamps really quick, and then we will get on with the stamping for this. And I think I'm gonna keep it kind of close in just so you guys can see what I'm doing. So the next thing that I did was I came in with the, this has a little like balloon, the string for the balloon. I mean, this stamp set, there are so many stamps in this stamp set and so many dies in this die set. It's unbelievable. So let's get that on there, and then I'm going to come in with the black Memento ink on this one. Alrighty, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put, and again, because these are the polymer stamps, oh, I got that out of the, sorry. I got to remember to keep you guys in the picture. So I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to get that right to the edge. But because these are the polymer stamps, it is a lot easier to line things up because you can see through the stamp. All right, so those are actually going to be the strings for the balloons. And then I'm going to come in and let me grab the balloons. The balloon, again, is one of the stamps in this stamp set. And I'm going to do these balloons in 3 different colors. So the first color that I'm going to do is Granny Apple Green. So again, I'm just off screen, I'm just inking it up. Let me see if I can get it all in here. Oh, that looks really dark. Okay, that's the Granny Apple Green, and I'm just inking it up. And then again, I'm going to try to get exactly lined up here. It's a lot harder when I can't be directly over what I'm doing. Ah, pretty good. So there's that one. I'm just gonna open my chamois case and keep it open since I'm switching colors. And the next color that I'm going to use is Gorgeous Grape. Now remember, this first card is my simple stamping card because I want to show you guys that you can make absolutely adorable cards with just stamping. All right, and then let's see. This one I'm gonna have to stand up so I can see. There you go. There's that one. That's the benefit of the polymer stamps, is you can see through them, and it makes it a lot easier to line up, as you can see. Okay, and then the next one is going to be Daffodil Delight. And again, let's see if I can get that lined up. There we go. Yay! Alrighty. So then what I'm going to do next is, in this stamp set, let me put the balloon, I'm going to put the balloon back and the little string back. But in this stamp set, it also has these little sparkles, kind of like confetti. And so now what I'm going to do is, oh, I'm sorry, first, before I do that, I want to get the little saying that goes underneath the hippo. And it is, Hippo Birthday is what it says. I think that'll fit on this one. And this I'm going to do in Pacific Point. Hey, Shanine. How are you tonight? Okay, this is my simple stamping card. And I'm trying to do it close up so you guys can see the stamping. Okay, I have to keep looking up so that I can make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're just going to stamp that saying right underneath the hippo. Isn't that a cute saying? Hippo birthday, happy birthday. I love it. Okay, so now we are on to the confetti. And so the way that I did the confetti is I just kind of went through and just stuck it. And I'm going to do all three colors that are in the balloons are going to be my confetti on this page. All right, so again, I'm just kind of stamping it. All right, so that was the Daffodil Delight. And then I'm going to come in with the Gorgeous Grape. And the colors that I'm using tonight, except for the Balmy Blue, which was the light color on the hippo, are all in our Brights collection. Just so you guys know. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and we're going to do a Gorgeous Grape there. And do one there. And do one in this corner over here. And do one up here. And you can see I'm not being very, like, I'm not going really slow to do this. All right. And then the last color is going to be the Granny Apple Green. We're going to bring that in. So hopefully you guys can see all this. I know it's not completely in the whole thing's not. And you can see that I did stamp off a little bit on some of these. All right, so we want to stamp off, I think, there, and then come in here. And so this one's kind of the easiest color to do because I'm just kind of filling in where there wasn't any green. Okay, and I think I want to come back in with, I'm not even sure what color. I think that's all right. I think that'll be all right. So we'll just do that. All right, and then the last thing that I'm going to do is put his little face on. Again, this is, you know, like I said, when you're building these little animals like this, they call it, you know, two-step stamping, but I kind of call it three-step stamping because you have to get his little face on too. Let me get this ink out of the way so I don't make a hot mess out of this. All right, so I'm going to bring in the black Memento ink, and we're going to ink, oh, gosh, I'm glad that didn't land on my card. And again, you want to make sure that when you're doing this two-step stamping, that you get as directly, you know, over it as you can, so that you can get it lined up correctly. So there's his face. Isn't he cute? I'm in love with this set. I really am. Wasn't sure I was gonna like it, but after playing with it, I love it. Okay, so that's gonna be the front of our card. So let me get, whoops, I hit the wrong one. Okay, I think a little bit more. There we go. Whoops, maybe not quite that much. Sorry. Hey, Carol. All right, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put this on my card front. Like I said, this just takes a card base and 2 pieces of Whisper White, because this is our simple stamping. So we are going to get this put together. Trying to get that off so that things don't stick to it. All right, so then we're gonna bring this in and we're gonna line this up. Lay that down. And then for the inside, oh, I was like, where is my inside piece? So for the inside, I am going to, in this little corner over here, I'm going to do 3 of the 3 colors of the balloons. Sorry, I'm forgetting to cover my ink, and I'm having to go back and do that so that I don't, my ink doesn't dry out, because I've got a little fan going so that I can stay nice and cool. All right, so I'm going to come in with the Gorgeous Grape one first, and I'm just going to kind of turn this, and I want to leave a little bit underneath. Whoops. This is the other nice thing about polymer stamps. See how I kind of messed that up, and because it's a clear polymer stamp, I was able to go right back in and stamp over the top of it. But I'm leaving a little bit at the bottom because I do want to come in with the little strings for the balloons on this as well. So now we're using Granny Apple Green. And then we're going to do Daffodil Delight. Sorry, I'm trying to put my stamp pads back so that everything kind of stays out of my way. So sorry if it's taking me a little longer between stamping. Whoops. Oh yeah, that's drying out my pad fast. It's drying out my chamois. All right, so there's that. Okay, I'm gonna have to not keep my chamois open and switch to my other one. Can you guys hear the squeaking of me cleaning it? All right, so we're done with the balloon. So now I'm going to bring in the stems for the balloon and my black Memento ink, which I hope didn't get dried out because I had it sitting here open right in front of the fan. No, it looks okay. So again, because it's a polymer stamp, it's pretty easy to get lined up. Because you can see through the stamp. All right, so there's the little strings for the balloon. And then we're going to put another sentiment, and it's in here, and it says, I believe, hip hip hooray. So that's what I'm going to use for the inside. And I'm going to bring back in the Pacific Point for that. And let's see if it'll fit. I don't know if it'll fit on this block. Nope. I need to get one of the bigger blocks. I think I can do it on this one. If I put it sideways, I can. All right. And then, like I've always told you, I line this up with my graph paper to make sure it's going to be straight. Ink that up. And then let's see if I can get this on here straight. I've been having issues with straight today. I must be a little off center or something. That happens. All right, so then that's going to be that, and it looks like I've done something down here, which if that's the case, I can always go back later and put some more balloons down here. Again, that's the nice thing, is if there is a mess up, you can always fix it. And for some reason, I've just been getting really messy. Let me see if that's something that will come off. I'm not sure what that is. All right, so then we're just going to take this piece, whoops, and put it on the inside. I keep thinking that it's not putting any glue on there, and then I go over the top of it because I can't see it. And then that's going to be the inside of our card. Whoops. Again, I'm having problems with straight today, so please excuse me. Okay, so there's our simple stamped card. There's the front that says Hippo Birthday, and on the inside, Hip Hip Hooray, or Hip Hippo Hooray. Isn't that cute? This is such a cute set. And I did all of this with basically, you know, a half a sheet of cardstock for the card base and 2 pieces of Whisper White. So really cute, quick card. All right, so the next card, this is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for you guys to see this card. So for the next card, and look, I've done it a little differently. So the next card, you are going to cut a piece at 4 1/4 and then score it at 5 1/2, and that's so that it folds like this. All right. And then I know I'm going to need to make this go out because we're going to be using the die cutting machine. Okay, so we need this is the 11, and you cut it at 4 1/4 and then score it 5 1/2. And then you need 3 pieces of Whisper White that are 1 inch by 3 3/4. And then you need a piece of Whisper White that is a 1/2 inch by 4 1/8. Oh, you know what? I think that's wrong. Let me see something. Yep, that's wrong. It was supposed to be 4 3/8. So I'm going to have to, I think I grabbed the wrong piece. Or this, what is that one? 4 3/8. There we go. I grabbed the wrong piece. And then I already stamped and cut out just for time's sake. But here's, so you can see what the unicorn and the lamb look like. There they are. Aren't they cute? So I did a hippo, a lamb, and this is a horse, but I could have added the little horn for the unicorn. And then you need another piece of Whisper White that is 4 by, I thought it was supposed to be 4 by 4, so I probably didn't cut it right, so I'll have to bring it back in and cut that. Wasn't paying attention on my cuts tonight. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and cut this down because I know that this is supposed to be 4 by 4. Let me grab my cutter. There we go. So that's 4 by 4. Alrighty, so you guys know I've been working on trying to, oh, before I get all of that going, just to kind of give it a fun look. Oh, and I'm sorry, this is balmy blue. I forgot to tell you what color. So just to give it a fun look, I don't think I've really done this a lot with you guys, but this is kind of a way to give, especially when you're working with like just Whisper White, it's a good way to give some contrast to the whites that you're using. So basically what I do is I use one of my daubers and I just pick up some ink and I just chalk around the, this is called chalking. So I just chalk around the edges. And it just gives it a little, it's kind of like matting it with a color behind it, but without having to use another piece of paper. So let me bring that close so you can see how you just kind of put an edge around it. And that just kind of makes it pop a little bit better when you're doing, like I said, when you're working with white, sometimes, a lot of times it does stand out really good, but when you're using it on another color and you want something to be a little bit more defined, this is a good way of doing that. Is just take your dauber, take your ink pad, and just chalk around it. And it doesn't matter if some of it goes up and is a little thicker. And if that happens and you think you want your other ones to be just as thick, then you just go back and do those as well. So I'm just going to chalk around all of these little white strips that I have here. And when I get the card put together, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is going to be a really fun card. So the sentence that I was working on earlier, I don't know if I finished it. I realize I do that a lot. I start talking and then I just stop talking. But I've been trying to come up with some really fun baby shower cards. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this. So what we're going to do is, like I said, I already did this stamping and I cut those out. And then I need to stamp on one of these. And I brought in the Well Said die set and I put together, because it has separate dies, I put together this that says Welcome Baby. And then I'm going to use that balmy blue again. And we're just going to ink that up. That's what's neat about those sets. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Is these, the Well Said, there's actually two stamps that come in, two stamps, or I don't even know what I'm saying right now. This is 2 of 2. So as you can see, they have all of these words that are separate, and that's what you do, is you build it to say whatever it is you want to say out of these words. And again, I don't think I've done that with you guys much, just to kind of show you how that works. So we're going to bring this in, see if I can get this centered. And this stamp on there, and then see how those are actually 2 separate stamps, but I put them together so that they say Welcome Baby. So that's how those stamp sets work. A lot of times people that are new at stamping see those and they're really not sure what to do with them. And that's what you do. You just combine those words with other things. And then that particular one comes with some dies that type out some dies. So you could have put welcome and then cut out, if they're, I can't remember if the cutout for baby is there, but you could have cut out the words baby. And that would have worked just as well. Okay. So now what we're going to do is you guys are going to get to see the new die cutting machine. Are you excited? Because I'm using it tonight. Yay! I'm excited for you. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring in, remember, here's all those beautiful dies for this set. Like I said, it cuts out all the animals, and then it has these unbelievable how many labels you get in this die set. But we're going to use this biggest one here, and we're going to just cut a small section down here. But let's get the die cutting machine in. Let me show it to you. All right. Are we ready? Dun da da! So here it is. So this is what it looks like, and it says Stampin' Up. and then it just opens. So you can ta-da and ta-da. So it just opens up. Now the neat thing about this is for those of you that are new at die cutting or embossing, let me show you what this does. So this is the base plate. And the base plate actually gives you directions on how to set up your dies. And what's neat is that everything is numbered. So this has number 1, and then the plates, both the clear plates are number 3, and then this is the die cutting plate, and it's number 2. And then this is, I think for embossing, for the 3D embosser, I don't know, can you see it says number 4? Okay, so it tells us, start with number 1 for die cut, place die cutting edge down, but it says start with number 1, then place number 2, and then even like on this one, see how I just covered that up and I thought, oh no, I can't see the instructions. Oh, but wait, I can. Because then it says to sandwich, you can see it's sandwich what you're gonna cut. So here's number 3, and then I'm gonna sandwich, so I'm gonna put this in next, and then my other plate on top. Isn't that cool how it walks you through what you need to do? Now, this is not the magnetic plate because we weren't able to get that yet. It's not available. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna put it up here. No one's commenting. Do you love the die cutting machine? I'm so excited about it. You guys are just like, okay. And I'm gonna line this up to where this little curve is right there. That's where I need it. Okay. Then I'm gonna put my other number 3 plate down. And guys, I am telling you, this is so smooth. Now, I know you guys can't order this yet. It won't be available to customers until September 1st. But, oh my gosh, it is so smooth. It just goes right through. And it's wonderful. Now, I'm going to go through twice because I don't know if you noticed, I folded my card, so I need it to cut through two... I needed it to cut through both the front and the back. So now I'm just going to pull this up carefully. All right. And then see how it cut, and then now I can open this and it cut the back as well. So I don't know if you guys knew that these die cutting machines, you can cut through 2 pieces of paper. So there's that. I'm so excited. Die cutting machine. All right, so let's get this out of the way. And again, it's not as heavy. It's still heavy, but it's not as heavy as the Big Shot. So me moving it back and forth is not as hard to do. All right. So now we're going to bring in this, and we're going to bring in this first strip right here, and we're just going to adhere this to the top up here. And I'm going to be using liquid glue just because I need to be able to adjust it a little bit. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge with the glue because the edges, part of the edges are going to be coming off the side here. All right. So still no comments about the die cutting machine. Come on, guys. Isn't it? It's so pretty. I'm in love. And like I said, it goes through so smooth. Okay, so that's going to go there. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to come in with these 3 pieces, and I'm actually going to use a ruler to apply some pearls to this. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So are you guys still with me? Because nobody's making any comments. I hope everybody's still here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm measuring this at a 1/2 inch. And for those of that have never seen this, this is a quilting ruler, and it is one of my have to haves in my scrapbooking room. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of these little tiny pearls and I'm going to place it right at the 1/2 inch mark right here. And I'm just using this for alignment's sake because I didn't think that I would be able to get these on here exactly this way. Alrighty, Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm not seeing any responses. Can someone at least type in a comment so I know you guys are still with me? All right, so I'm going to get those on there. Oh, yeah, true. Susie says you guys will have more comments on the die cutting machine. So that's what it looks like when you get the 2 little pearls on it. And we're going to do that with each one of these. All right. I just want to make sure you guys are alive out there. Okay. So again, I'm just going to pick up another one of the pearls with my pick a tool and stick that one on that side and stick this one on this side. Sometimes because this gets a little thick on the end of this, I can't see my pearl, and so I'm having to rearrange. Okay, I'm glad you can all hear me. That was my concern. All right, so I got one more to do with putting the little pearls on. So here's this one, and again I'm sticking it right even with the 1/2 inch mark on this ruler. Now I will go to the other side and do the same. The reason I like these rulers is because it helps you to get all of your edges straight. So when I'm being particular, which I'm not very particular all the time. Glad you're still here, Shanine. Okay. All right, so there's all the pearls on these. Now what we're going to do is you kind of have to lay this out this way. We're going to add the animals to the backs of these pieces here. And so I'm going to start with my little lamb, and I'm going to again use my liquid glue. And the biggest thing is you want to place it so that it's going to kind of be about that close on the card front, and you want to make sure the animals don't cover the pearls. So that's why I kind of lay it out like this, so I know, okay, I can add my little lamb right here, and that's not going to cover, well, maybe. I think we're going to be okay. Sometimes you might have to angle it a little bit more. And then I'm going to come in with the hippo next. And what I'm doing is I'm putting glue on the front of the back feet and on the back of the front feet. Was that confusing enough for you? All right, and then I'm just going to slip him in like that. Okay, so he looks like that. And again, making sure that once I'm up close to this, I haven't blocked the pearls. And then again with the same with this one. On the back feet, you put the glue on the front. On the front feet, you put the glue on the back. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then this one's just going to slip in there like that. Alrighty, I got some glue right there, so I'm going to get that glue off. It was on my hand, of course. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. If I can find them. I found them. Yay! All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build our card front, and we're going to build it from the top down. So we're going to come in, and I'm trying to leave it's about, I think about maybe a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 3 Stampin' Dimensionals across this little panel, and then I'm going to cut a small one. I think I've already got one cut. And because he might go a little bit over the top, I'm bringing this one down around his neck area. All right. So here we go. And the hardest part for this card is getting it lined up so that it's straight, because we've got those Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, and they're not very forgiving. So the way I do this is I barely set it down, and then I just kind of pick it up and make sure that it looks like the edges are good and the top is good. And like this one looks like it needs to move a little bit. So because I haven't pushed it down hard, I still have a little bit of wiggle room here. And I'm not going to push it down all the way until I get all of these on here. So then here's this one. And with this, because it's going to be on this piece here, I'm going to bring in some liquid glue, and again, just not all the way at the top, but just put a little bit there. I don't know what that was hanging on to. And then again, pull this off. And stick this up here. And again, I just kind of pick it up and try to get the left side down, then the right side down, and I think I need it. Let me just kind of measure to make sure I've got room down here. Yeah, this needs to come up a little bit more to make it evenly spread apart. And that's why I said I don't like push down on the Stampin' Dimensionals until I get this pretty much how I like it. So then there's that piece, and then we're going to come in with this last piece, do the same thing, put 3 dimensionals. Almost out of dimensionals on this page. And then again, we're just going to put a little bit of glue right there on the lamb. So I know, I'm having a hard time. I know, Shanine, you're tired. And I have a lot of people that tell me that, but I just don't know what's the best time. Because when I did my early morning one, there was like nobody on with me. So I'm just not even sure what time is best for everybody to be on with me. I mean, I know you guys can all go back and look at it later, but I do like to pretend like I'm talking to somebody anyway. Although apparently I can talk just fine to myself, according to my kids. I'm very good at it. They used to catch me all the time when they were younger. Mom, who are you talking to? Myself. Okay, so now I've got this put together. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is a dresser. So we've made a little dresser. See it? These are the drawers. And we've got the little animals poking up out of the drawers. And then it says, welcome baby. Cute. Cute, cute. And then on the inside, I am going to use again one of the sayings. So in that well said set, this is what I was trying to fumble around with. It's got 2 stamp sets that come with it when you buy it. And so this is kind of the single words, and then these all have sayings on it. So this is the set that I'm using. And this one said, well, it says, welcome baby. And then it says, time for a new adventure, right? For new moms and dads, little do they know what they've just gotten themselves in for, right? Don't get me wrong. I have absolutely enjoyed raising my kids and I adore my grandkids, but wow, does it change your life? All right, so then I'm just gonna try to get this centered the best that I can. Like I said, I'm having problems. Been having problems. Oh my gosh, maybe you guys are my good luck charms. Oh, Shanine, perhaps if you sit up instead of laying on my bed, that would help. Oh yeah, no joke. I would be asleep. So you're doing better than me. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay, so then we're gonna take this, and wherever I put my adhesive, I think this is it. I'm trying to make sure I grab the one that is full and not the one that is almost empty. Ah. All right, and then we're gonna take this and open this up. And again, I pray I can get things lined up. It has not been a good day for lining up. All right, so what do you think? It's like a little dresser. So it sits like this. And I know you guys, because it's like an A-frame. But there's the front. And then there's the inside. So I want to show you, because I did one in pink, just so you guys could see. And I used Blushing Bride. And I used our purple. So I used Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. And I used Flirty Flamingo and Blushing Bride for the pink ones. Do you guys like them? I think this was so cute. So again, then they open it up. And I mean, this is actually something they could sit, if they loved it, they could sit it on their baby's dresser for at least a little bit, because it's such a cute card. So fun, 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 fun. So that is our second card. Hope you guys liked it. I know you've been kind of non-communal tonight. Okay, on to our last card. I tried to do a lot of the cutting out ahead of time, but I want to go through and talk about what you need for this. Okay, so the last card is going to be a thick Whisper White piece that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then you are going to need a Bumblebee. This card I'm doing in all of the new in colors. Oh, I'm so glad you love them, Pat. Okay, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and that's Bumblebee. And then you need a Misty Moonlight that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then you need, this is the Designer Series paper that is the 2000. It looks like this when it comes to you. So it comes in a 6 by 6, and it's the 2020-2022 Designer Series paper, and it has all the colors in these different designs in here. Alrighty. And so this was 4 by 5 1/4. And then, oh shoot, I should have had that out. I don't think I have it out. There's another piece that you needed. Let me find it. It's actually the back of the polka dot, but it's in the Bumblebee, and I cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. But I've already cut out the pieces on this one. So what I did was I used the dies from this set. Again, I am in love with the dies in this set. So I used this smallest die here to cut these 3 out right here. Alrighty. Oh, and you know what? We're going to need another strip. And then I needed a Whisper White that is about 1.5 by about 4 1/4. And as you can see, this is the butterfly. So that's the 2-step butterfly. And I'm going to show you that on the inside of the card. And I cut 2 of these out already. And then you're going to need another strip that's about this same size that we're going to stamp our sentiment on. And then we're going to use, I think it was this one, to cut out the sentiment. So we're using these dies a lot tonight. So let's start working on getting this card put together. Let me get all the pieces cut out, which means I'm going to have to stamp that sentiment, and then we'll cut the sentiment out the same time we cut this little butterfly. Wow, I'm losing my words tonight. Okay, so here's a scrap of white, and so I am going to bring in my Misty Moonlight, and then I need the sentiment from my stamp set, and this time I'm using the one that says fluttering by just to say hi, because we're using the butterfly. And I don't know if you guys saw all the sentiments on this. So if you use the lamb, you can say you, spelled E-W-E-R special, and then thank you so much. So yeah, this is fun. Yeah, you'll want to go back and look at the cards, Mel, for sure. I know you've been busy fishing, having so much fun. I saw your Facebook and I'm so jealous. Mel caught a shark while she was out fishing. So anyway, that was kind of exciting. I was excited. I was like, oh man. I know I'm really weird, but one of my favorite shows to watch is Wicked Tuna. Because I just love fishing and I just love watching those guys go out and catch those huge tunas. So I know I'm a little odd, but that's one of my favorite shows. All right, so again, I'm lining this up with my graph paper. I know you guys hear me say this and you probably get tired of it, but if you're not going to use a Stamparatus, this is the best way I know to get your sentiments stamped correctly. All right, so now I'm going to bring in that new die cutting machine. You caught 2 sharks? Oh my gosh, Mel, one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. That's exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. All right, so let's bring in that new die cutting machine again, because you know, I can. It's so exciting. So I know those of you that were here earlier got to see it. So here it is, nice and compact. And if you're late, it says Stampin' Up on this side and that side. All right, so we're gonna open this up, and it's so much easier to move around, I can tell you that, because I about break my arm every time I do these classes and I'm trying to move it around. Okay, and then like I said before, everything is numbered, and so we're die cutting again. So again, I'm just gonna follow. This is number 1. And it says to start with number 1, then put number 2. Number 2 is numbered. Then put number 3. There's 2 number 3s because they're the clear plates, which of course you can see mine are already cut up. Doesn't take long in this house. All right, and then you put your paper and your dies. And so let me grab those. I had everything so organized and now I've got it all discombobbled again. Let me move it this way a little bit while I get this lined up. Again, this isn't the magnetic one. So what's cool about this little die is it's got these 2 little dots up here, and so when you're lining it up, you want to make sure you can see the little butterfly antennas when you get this die lined up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tape that in place just because. And then, like I said, I'm bringing in these the dies, and I'm using this die right here. Whoops. And it just barely fits. And bring in my washi tape, turn it, put my plate 3 down. And another neat thing about this is you know you're putting your plates down correctly when all of your numbers line up here. All right. And then we're going to stick that in there. And like I said, this thing is so smooth. It's unbelievable. Of course, it might be that my big shots are so old that they're a little rough. So we're done with that. So we're just going to close this up and move this out of the way. And then let's take this apart. And again, remember, when you cut something like this out, see how, because it's a stitched one, let me see if I can, it's got the stitching on it. So you could use this on a card front and like cover, like stamp, you know, stamp your sentiment and then place this over the top. And it would still be really cute. So don't forget that. I know we all love to keep scraps, right? Wow. It's like, oh, most of us have so many scraps. Okay, so I've got my little butterfly and my sentiment. And let me just move all of these out of the way. All right, so let's put this card together. So on the front, we are going to lay down the bumblebee cardstock first. And get that on the back of there. So Mel, were they big sharks or how big were they? I saw one picture, but I don't know if I saw both of them. All right, so there's that. So I'll keep going while I'm waiting for Mel to tell me how big her sharks were. And then we're gonna take this, again, this is the In Color Designer Series paper. And look how cool that is on the back side. It's like a denim. Looks kind of cool. Oops, almost did the wrong side. Alrighty, so let's get this going. And we're gonna stick that on here. Trying to grab on the right side there so it won't lay down. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in these butterflies, and I'm going to have these set up in a certain way, so when I add these butterflies, I'm gonna, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm placing them the way I'm placing them because of what I'm fixing to stamp on here with them. So this one's, the one on the left's going to go there. The one on the right, or in the middle, is going to go right there. And this one over here is going to go in this bottom corner over here. Then what I'm going to do is it has another cool stamp in this stamp set. Go figure, because I'm so in love with this stamp set. But it has this little swirly thing, like, you know, the butterfly is flying, and so it's leaving a little trail behind it. I call it the butterfly trail. Okay, so the one on Tuesday was probably about 5 pounds. Wow, and the other one was maybe 10 to 12 pounds. Oh my gosh. Ah. Of course, I've been watching Shark Fest, because that's one of my other favorite things to watch. I know I'm weird, people. So here's the little swirl. So we're going to put that one there, and then we're going to put this one here, like the butterfly has left this little swirl behind him, and then that one's going to go right there. All right, let me clean that off. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this center one on first, because I'm putting this one on with dimensionals. So again, and I don't know why, but I actually used, believe it or not, 4 dimensionals on the back of this, which is really unusual for me on something this small, but hey, it's just what I wanted to do with this one. All right, so then I'm going to try to bring this in and get this little guy centered. And let's see. I think, and again, as long as you don't push it down, you have a little bit of wiggle room. So I think that's good. And then these two I'm just going to put down with liquid glue. I bet that was exciting. Oh my gosh, I'd have been so excited. But again, fishing is my jam. Besides, you know, this. Let's see. I'm going to try to get that on there so that it's straight. Sometimes it's hard with all of the dots to get it straight. So I'm just trying to do my best here and get it put on here evenly. All right, let's see. I think this needs to come up a little bit. Wow, these dots really do make it kind of difficult to see if I've got it on there straight. I think I've got it straight. All right, so that's going to go there. Then I'm going to take the little sentiment and put a couple of dimensionals on this. And I'm going to kind of bring them in a little bit just because it's going to overlap this, and I just don't want the dimensionals to be on top of that, because then it would make it, you know, cattywampus a little bit. So now we're going to come in with this. Let's try to get that straight. Alrighty, and then we're going to come in on the inside, and we're going to put this Misty Moonlight as our mat. And again, like I've told you guys before, if you guys have this, the rectangle and square die cuts, you can definitely just cut out a center piece here and use just the frame because we're covering it. So Mel, you caught the most fish. That always happens when I go fishing. Hey Vanessa. I'm always the one that catches the most fish too. Of course, I don't think Wes cares. He usually throws his line in and takes a nap. So I'm guessing he doesn't really care whether he catches fish. Okay, so now I'm going to show you again the two-step stamping for those of you that have come on a little late. We're going to do one more little two-step stamping here with the butterfly so I can explain how I do this again. Because there's always a detailed stamp and then a solid stamp. And so whatever color that you want for the darkest color. So I want my detailed stamp to be the darkest color. So I'm going to stamp it first. And so it's going to be the Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to stamp this one first. And I'm going to stamp it at an angle down here. All right. Actually, I'm going to bring you guys in so that you can see this a little bit better on the lining up part of it. And so, and like I said, if you follow what I'm telling you and you stamp the darker first and then the lighter color second, you'll get a good stamp almost every time you do this. Some people are a little intimidated by the two-step stamping, but it's really not hard. So now this is the solid. Whoops. And this is the lighter color, which means I'm going to be able to see through this to line it up. So I'm going to try to stand up so I can get this lined up and still, let me get it closer so you guys can see. Okay. I'm trying to get this so you guys can actually see what I'm seeing. Okay. So then you come in, and because it's clear, you're able to see where the edges line up. So can you guys see that? Let me move my hand. So see how you can see where it lined up. And then voila, you take it off and it has stamped perfectly. So fun. All right, and then I am going to finish with another sentiment from this set, and it says far apart but close at heart. If I can find it. I thought I had it out, but I'm not seeing it. Dun, 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 dun. It looks like it is out because I'm missing one. Oh, wait, there it is. All right. It's hard to read sideways and upside down. I can usually read upside down, but not sideways and upside down. All right, so I'm gonna try to line this up so that it's straight, and then pick her up, and we're going to use the Misty Moonlight as our oh, other way. I'm trying to bring you guys out now because I'm just doing the sentiment. All right. And then, oh, let's hope oh, see, I'm feeling off. See, I knew it. I was feeling off. I could feel it. I wasn't getting it straight. But you could turn it over and do it again on the other side, but I'm not going to. For the sake of time for you guys. I knew it. I could feel that I was off a little bit, even though I thought I was straight. Huh. That's that's how I've been stamping all day today, is exactly what I just did. The first two cards I actually did pretty good. Alrighty. And then you just put that on the inside like so. And we have our card here. And then what I did was I brought in those pearls to finish it off. And I just kind of stuck them up in this area right here. So let's pick them up, and I'm going to put like one there, and then I'm going to pick up a medium one, and maybe like right there, and then another medium, and put it right there, and then another big one, and stick it right here, and another medium one, and stick it right there. All right. So then that is how you finish off this card. See the pearls? Aren't they pretty? Pretty, pretty. Oh, it would help if the light was showing on this. Then you guys could see a little bit better. Okay, so fluttering by just to say hi. Far apart, but close at heart. So yay! All right, so let me bring in all the cards that we did tonight for those of you that missed them. And if you like what you see, you can go back and watch it later. But again, I'll bring in the stamp set so that you can see what I'm working with. And the dies, which, oh, guys, I love this. I can't tell you enough. I am in love with this set. In love. Let me see if I can make this go. Oh, going the wrong way again. I'm trying to give us as much room as possible. Okay, so we did this card. And then, for those of you that missed it, we did a little baby dresser, right? This says, welcome baby. Time for a new adventure. And it sits kind of like that. It's an A-frame card, so it would sit on a table like that. And then my simple stamping card is the little hippo. And here's this one. So this one was just doing the stamping. All right, so those are our 3 cards for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Glad you joined me, especially for those of you that are a little tired tonight. I know how hard it is. But again, just make sure, if you're new to watching me, just make sure you subscribe to, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, follow my page. So anyway, guys, thanks. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was so much fun. But everyone have a good night, and I will see hopefully a bunch of you on Tuesday evening. And Mel, keep me updated if you do any more fishing. I'm so jealous. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do a road trip to come see you. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.